Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another Ration Cast. And today we're having a look at a game played by Gumayushi on the Korean server, and he is going to be starting off this one on Zeri with a Yuumi as a support, and on the enemy team we have a very interesting comp. Once again, it is going to be a Jhin and a Varus. The Jhin being the support here, obviously kind of a weird thing that people have started to do. And then let's have a look at the rest of the game. In the top lane we have Yone versus a Udyr, which is going to be interesting as this is Zeus. This is the absolutely stacked game of League of Legends. This is going to be Zeus on the Udyr facing off against a Yone. Then in the jungle we have Karim facing off as versus a Wukong, Karim on the Bel'Veth. And then in the mid lane, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Hyde on Bush Faker. And he is going to be starting on an Akali facing off against a Rumble, which is a pretty difficult matchup for the Akali. However, still a playable one, as anything that doesn't hard lock Akali in usually is still playable. Alright, so we are going to have a look at the Zeri performance here as well as the mid lane performance, as well as I will try to have a look at what goes on in the top lane here as well. Mid lane is going to be pretty boring, to be honest. There is going to be a lot of farm that Faker has to give, right? And especially level 2 and level 3, he will not really stand a chance against Rumble. Level 1 is kind of acceptable. Similar thing for the bot lane of Yuumi and Zeri. Not too much damage available here. Very early aggressive bot lane on the enemy team. So let's have a look at the top lane, right? Udyr, finding decent trades here already. Yeah, with the Phoenix stance, as Gumayushi will go down. Yeah, will be taken down by, I believe it was the Varus. Yeah, it was the Varus indeed. As Faker, yep, getting traded on by the complex trading patterns of Rumble. We all know him, we all love him. Beautiful W by Jhin, as well as in the top lane a small, well, very small lead has been built up here by Zeus. Wanted to use a fancy word there, backed out of it for this last second. All right, beautiful Phoenix stance, and yeah, the W will get him back more than enough HP. This is going to be very interesting though, yeah, as obviously still we have to respect the Yone damage. Level 3 available here for Zeus now. Beautiful spacing around the beautiful spacing around the Yone abilities. Has dodged so many Qs already, so very good job. Yone will take the cannon minion as Ghost is activated here, and we are Phoenix dancing onto the Yone, trying to keep that debuff on him, but Yone flash will get him to safety. Very good trade in the beginning already, but now we got to be a little bit careful here, as obviously we have used our Ghost. Yone trying to take a favorable trade here. Good of Zeus to walk into that, as in the bot lane we are in a little bit of trouble here with the Bel'Veth ready and the Wukong ready to counter gank, as in the top lane. Yeah, Zeus has managed to push in the wave, and he will recall now as the Jhin is walking up to set up for that W and set up for the Bel'Veth, as Bel'Veth now is moving in, but spotted by a ward instantly and will move back. But we are still looking for something W available here, but the clone is not going to be the target that you want to deal damage to, as Bel'Veth will miss her W on to the Zeri. Alright, this is going to be a beautiful flash by Gumayushi, and so it kind of goes in favor of the blue team here, as they will have the ability to push out the wave now, and Gumayushi will have to recall and hope that he can find at least some of the HP here. Interestingly enough, Doran's shield into Doran's ring here by the Udyr. Yeah, activates that Phoenix stance and says, yeah, try to Q me if you want. I will deal damage to you anyhow. Alright, another big wave that he is pushing in here, and we will think about what we can do with this. So hopefully there is going to be a ward that will be placed, yep, pretty deep. There would be a potential for an invade here, so that would be quite valuable. However, the timing is starting to close on the wave, as Wukong wasn't quite in position. Will just take for himself the Scuttle Crab. And this is a ward cleared now by Udyr. Level 5 to level 5. Udyr would still win those trades, I would assume. We will see, yeah. Yone thinks a similar thing. As Zeus, very, very interestingly, has built a decent farm lead here. Okay, this is the stun on to the Yone with a beautiful Cryo Phoenix empowered ability. Yeah, chasing down the Yone. Dealt really decent damage. Level 6 available here for Udyr, which doesn't really do much. Yone will collect his Q, yeah, and might be able to get out of here for now, but we will see how exactly that one goes. Karim is here to dissuade the Udyr as bot lane is crashing a wave. Faker is still in the same stalemate that, you know, it's a Kali. She isn't the most powerful. 3 items, and add to that the fact that Rumble is pretty ridiculously annoying. Ooh, beautiful takedown by Zeus on to the Yone. Yone will go down, as Karim obviously will stand his ground. Gotta be a little bit careful with Karim's W here. Good damage onto the Yuumi, but it is a Yuumi. She retreats into Gumayushi, and Gumayushi still full HP, where Varus has lost quite a bit of HP here so far. Beautiful dodges by the Varus, by the Zeri as well. Ah, that was a Q into the wrong direction. Someone misclicked. Yeah, I see you there. You are human after all, Gumayushi. No, I mean, after his Will's performance, I think we all know that he is indeed human. Mispositioning himself. I still remember that Lucian situation where he walked into like 5 people over here and just gets popped on a Lucian Nami pick, which basically, yeah, I mean, basically sealed the game for them. Very, very unfortunate one. So remembering those still hurts. If you didn't watch the Worlds, then I suggest you to do it, because that was probably one of that most hyped Worlds, if not the most hyped World. So just go into the archives and have a watch. They are pretty good. Talking about the games that are pretty good, LCK has started anew. Well, it hasn't started yet. Well, it has started its production, but the LCK in general hasn't started yet. But it is going to start on the 18th. That is going to be the first match. They've made some very exciting changes. One of them being my absolutely beloved and favorite change of all, in the fact that they now have a losers bracket type competition, which I think is really good. All right, decent damage. The flash out of the Rumble. Faker will not hit the perfect execution there, but that is still pretty darn good for Faker, as obviously flash was used by Rumble. All right, so Zeus is solidly ahead here, but this is the point where Yone is becoming a little bit stronger. Yone feels like that too, but no spacing. No spacing available, but ooh, solid Cryo Phoenix actually down here. Zeri will be able to take down the shutdown onto the Varus. That was a very ugly sentence. I'm sorry you had to hear that. But that is absolutely huge, the lead here in the top lane. And this is absolutely huge down here for the red team, as Zeri is not supposed to become that strong yet. So Faker definitely in a little bit of an unfortunate situation here, having to go up against a very strong Zeri. And yeah, the Rumble ultimate not really finding its mark here, as we are trading with 2 people here, as Zeus gotta be careful, but he is stopping the Herald, and this is a very beautiful thing that he does for his team here, as they were obviously busy fighting around the bot lane and, you know, all of the situation that had occurred here. I don't know how Zeri was trapped here, and I don't know how Guma was able to acquire that kill and get out of that with 10 HP, but apparently he was able to do that. So that was very interesting. As alright, solid damage. Yeah, the W not coming in quite quickly enough here by Udyr. So you can already see how Yone is starting to still, you know, he's starting to catch up a little bit when it comes to the fighting capacity whenever he has his E, but obviously, yeah, if he doesn't and the Udyr will catch you, you are in a troublesome situation. Yone has to ult out of there, and that is another victory for Zeus. As down here in the bot lane, Gumayushi has somehow managed to build a farm lead onto the Varus, who is still ahead in kills, but that is still rather unfortunate for the Varus Jhin lane, as obviously this is a pretty hefty life tap of the late game to get such a strong early game. And now Gumayushi is definitely feeling himself the ultimate, and this is a kill onto the Varus. Yeah, that's the kill onto the Varus. Beautiful flash by Gumayushi, but the Jhin W will find him, and that is Karim taking down a double kill here. Gumayushi tried, and he really almost got away with murder there. Obviously all-inning right where the jungler was moving up, but that was just not quite it, as Karim is quite strong when it comes to his ultimate, but yeah, still squishy as heck. And ooh, beautiful execution by Hide on Bush. Some might say it is perfect, as the Karim Velvet will go down and trades back a little bit of the lead that he had. A decent situation actually for the Jhin to be in, I would say. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad if Jhin gets ahead, but yeah, Varus is constantly just going to be taken down if he doesn't have enough protection. Jhin a little similar to something like the Xerath, right, where once the enemy team gets ahead, you are not going to stop your AD carry from getting all in constantly. So solid job here, obviously, by Gumayushi. I mean, it's a hard task going off against Gumayushi and effort. So that definitely speaks for itself, as in the top lane, Zeus finds an engage on to his opponent again and trades a very favorable, like 5% of his HP for about 50% of the enemy. I think it was 60 regeneration. As ooh, we have a fight going on here. Zeri will chase down the Jhin, and that is Jhin getting stunned, but the exhaust will come in close. Beautiful W, and the Rumble ult does no damage at all at the moment, as Rumble will just, I don't know, give away a kill, I guess. Faker definitely putting in work here. Beautiful job, as ooh, yeah, Gumayushi out of position once again, and Faker recognizes his old mates, well, not his old mates, but his mates, his mates' old vices of just overextending himself in these fights. See that? Gumayushi could have played that a little bit safer, and that would have worked out differently, but he had to go in aggressively, and the Jhin W would find him. Alright, so the Jhin, by the way, Jhin works all the way. Just the Jhin support just works with your ability to hit your W onto targets. A beautiful ultimate here, catching out the Zeus, and Zeus will go down. That is Yone taking down the Spirit Guard here in the top lane. So very, very good, as obviously Varus was just taken down once again, and he's just not having a good time. 122 farm to 99. Definitely not a good situation to be in versus Zeri, as obviously Zeri is ridiculously strong and becomes ridiculously even more stronger in the mid game, where Varus, you know, he is pretty strong. He has a decent curve in general, but ooh, Faker working on the Rumble. Rumble obviously kind of self-silenced here, is not able to use any of his abilities, but he does flash out and he will be alive, as Faker is becoming a substantial threat here in these team fights. And I will probably rewatch this without casting it. Probably rewatch this just to be able to look at Faker's play in the team fights, because obviously I've been playing a little bit of Akali myself these days, and the questionable Rumble ult will clear the wave, but nothing else. And will probably communicate a mental boom over to Faker. Alright, the Jhin W lands onto Gumayushi, but no one decides to pull the trigger. Ward is available here, so Gumayushi is Very safe as he can just slide on over the wall. Yeah, that is goddamn right. And that is Jin ultimate used. Yeah, Guma will just walk out as we are using Jin ultimate to clear the wave. Varus will take the wave down and probably recall, while Gumayushi has a delayed recall. Ooh, okay. Yeah, decent damage onto the Wukong. As Zeus is around here and Zeus wants to tango. Alright, that is not a tango I believe that Faker can take. Udyr pretty good at dealing with something like her. Especially given the fact that he has now Demonic Embrace, which makes him so much stronger activating that Cryo Phoenix stance. As Wukong looking for a little bit of a dive, but you shouldn't really do that against Varus and Bel'Veth, let's be honest. Alright, we will be taking down the turret here though, so now if the enemy team overstays, they are in a lot of trouble. We will take down the turret, yeah, and that is a beautiful Cyclone here by the Wukong, and we will take down 2 of the enemy team's members. Varus going down once again. This man cannot catch a break, as obviously very aggressive trading here by Zeus, as T1 Gumayushi will take down the Jin finally, and Zeus is asserting dominance over the mid lane, even taking tower shots. Obviously, the turtle stance will help him there. I don't think it's turtle stance anymore, but I don't know. It's in my DNA. Okay, it's a turtle stance. I don't care. I've managed to change to the Cryo Phoenix. No, Yone goes down to Rumble. Rumble barely alive. How the hell? How the hell you alive? You're not supposed to be alive. Alright. So we will see how this one goes, as obviously Varus goes into the mid lane. That means that Gumayushi is going to rotate into the mid lane as well. Udyr goes down to the bot lane, and the Rumble is in the top lane. A little bit of a questionable call, as obviously Zeus would be quite valuable here at the Herald fight. Question is if the Herald fight is the most valuable thing you can do. One thing is for sure though, that is that Zeus would be able to deal a lot of damage in the side lane if uncontested. But yeah, I mean, him not being there for the Herald fight still might become a very, very expensive mistake here for the red team. We will see whether or not the blue team is in a position to fight this. I think they definitely are. Between Jin ultimate, Varus ultimate, and Faker roaming there, actually, yeah, this is very dangerous. We gotta finish the Herald very fast. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and that is it. As Faker will find the mark, and that is Rumble going down to Faker. Yeah, I mean, it goes down to, in the end, someone else, but big damage by Faker, obviously, as the Zeus TP coming in a little bit later. And we will take down almost everyone but the Wukong. And I think this is the main problem, is the Udyr TP in there is just not the same as Zeus being there from the start. Actually, Wukong just trading back against Yone, just taking down the Yone. As Gumayushi is still alive though, so still ready to rock and roll. We'll see how exactly... Yeah, oh my god, what is that damage? Ay, 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 ay. Yumi, what a great champion, huh? Don't we all love her? Ugh, beautiful. Just why, dude? Just why? Alright. Ooh. Yeah, I like it, actually. That makes a lot of sense. Alright, Guma. Gotta be very careful here, as Faker is about to arrive, and as much as no one else can close the gap with Zeri, Faker most definitely would be able to. Yeah, you gotta get out of there before the ultimate connects. Alright, ultimate does not connect, and so Gumayushi will be able to get out. Gobbling up all the farm he can get, 186 CS. So very solid CS numbers here by the red team's AD carry. As the dragon will go over to the red team. This is a very, very good dragon for something like Zeus. As Faker will take down Gumayushi, but trades a 1-for-1. Still very good for Faker, obviously, as it is a shutdown that he collects onto Guma. But, you know, Guma will shrug that off. Doesn't really hurt him that much, as The turret will go down. Unfortunately, he will not be able to collect that money, but he is still in a solid position and working on the Infinity Edge here. I would assume. I'm happy that the bastard Zeri builds are gone. Obviously talking about the Triforce and so on builds, right? That are just made her a really fast juggernaut with still solid amounts of damage, scaling off of her maximum HP. Sounds like a great idea for an AD carry. Not. So yeah, I'm happy that those days are gone, but I think at this point you can see that Zeri is back in the meta. Obviously she was very, very weak, but now she definitely has some merit to her, especially with certain support picks. She works really good. I believe that if you are duo queuing, there is going to be a very, very strong case for you being able to impact the game positively on her. Probably able to carry a lot of fights. Beautiful E actually by Gumayushi, right? He was predicting that there could be an ultimate coming out or something like that. Fight in the top lane though, as a shutdown on the Wukong is acquired, and now we are working on a dive on to the Rumble. Rumble ultimate is available, but what an absolutely horrific ultimate that was. And so yeah, Gumayushi will not be able to do much, but there could have been a very, very good potential for this going sour had Rumble ulted on top of himself, but that didn't happen, so that is an unfortunate situation, as Guma will await his farm delivery while acquiring even more gold and will ramp up to become a real menace. Obviously a lot of kills going over, but generally this team has a very strong very strong front line assembled here for the Zeri and the Yuumi, so I believe that if Faker can't find his mark, then I don't think that this is going to be a very, very good fight for the blue team in general, right? They did manage to catch out the enemy team here in good positions. It's unfortunate that Faker hasn't been able to acquire that many kills. This would have been something that I think would open up the game by quite a bit. Obviously Faker on that Akali pretty scary. Although he is probably not the most mechanical player, he still is a very solid player. As the Jhin ultimate, the Jhin flash will be used. Interesting teleport coming out here by Zeus, as he will delay the Herald charge a little bit, so maybe that works out. As the Yuumi ultimate, yeah, not in the best position. Zeus engaging on... Zeus? No. Yone engaging onto Team on Guma, yeah, beautiful. Faker takes down two people here. Most importantly, however, the AD carry of the red team here finds a really good angle on to Gumayushi, and that is exactly how it goes. As obviously Yone was working, which I find very, very good. Yone was working on a... Ooh, this is so bad now. Oh, yeah, this is still not very good, as obviously... Yeah, I mean, the enemy team is just straight up dead, so it's still fine, but... What an unfortunate one, huh? What an unfortunate one. Alright. Big damage, Baron. Will go down. Only one execute. It's totally fine, honestly. It's just the Jhin support, right? It is just the Jhin support, as obviously the dragon will go over to the red team here now. Most likely. The gold has been equalized though, so that is most definitely a good position to be in. Faker now sitting on a decent amount of money as well. Well, a decent amount of items as well. Shadow Flame, obviously, Proto Belt, and then we have the needlessly large rod coming in here. Pretty soon that is going to be a Rabadon, especially if the team fights keep going the way they are right now, with Gumayushi just out of position and taken down by Faker. Faker working off a little bit of an off angle again. They're chasing down Faker now though. Gotta be careful, gotta try to get out of this. The flash will get Faker out, and Yone did a very solid job here helping, but now the blue team is on the retreat. Faker getting caught out of position there. Varus ultimate will delay the whole chase. This is still very, very scary as, yeah, the dragon just goes over to the red team. At this point, there is no contest. Good ultimate by Yone, though. At least the chase not possible anymore, as Yone will take down one turret at least with that Baron, maybe even two. Yeah, maybe even two going down to the Varus. Depends where Jhin is. Jhin? Yeah, what are we doing? Jhin, that is not what you want to do, my dude. As obviously this turret will go down. Gumayushi in the enemy base. Very solid damage though to the Akali now. Yeah, gotta be very careful here as the turret went down. And Yone is dealing damage to the second turret, at least a little bit. But yeah, this is him taking a bit too much damage. He does have a good amount of sustain here with the Blade of the Ruin King and the Immoral Shield Bow though. But still, he has probably had the most impact with the Baron so far, which is rather unfortunate as he only took down the tier 1 turret. So generally not really the craziest Baron. Obviously Baron still gives a good amount of money, denies it to the enemy team for the time being. But still, you know, it's not the most impactful Baron. Didn't really create big leads for the blue team here. All in all, obviously there is a slight lead for the blue team now. It's 2k gold. But you know, it's not a crazy one, and Zeus, if he decides to, will be able to trade back a little bit of that gold as well. Alright, this is going to be very interesting. Varus. That was a WQ, so that is not the best damage. Varus obviously running a lethality build here, as Varus will find himself out of position heavily here. Gumayushi takes down one, will take down the second one as well as he goes into the backline and will execute the Yone as well. And that is a triple kill for Gumayushi. Beautiful play. And now, oof, yeah, I don't even know if you're able to defend. I think it is just give that inhib. As obviously Faker, yeah, will be taking down 2 turrets in the bot lane here, but at what cost? Pretty high cost right now. Obviously his team could have played a little bit more careful around the fact that, you know, they knew Faker was somewhere else. 2 inhibs going down. Faker can't do anything about it. Unfortunate situation. Real unfortunate situation here. Baron coming up in 1 minute and 40 now. So that is also an objective to watch out for, as obviously Gumayushi is going to be powered up for that fight. Going to be very strong. He will take the red buff right now. Yeah, interesting. As we are working on the Bel'Veth. Bel'Veth, Flash will get her out of harm's way, but beautiful, perfect execution by Faker, taking down Zeus, and that is going to be a flash out of Jhin as well, as Faker can't really respond here. So it is still a decent situation overall for the red team, but this is absolutely not what you want to happen. Faker finding Zeus there, where the fight was pretty much just to put the enemy team at low HP and deny them the ability to set up vision around the Baron here. Now, that's not really the case. There is still a good amount of vision here for the blue team, as obviously Dragon not coming up anytime soon for now. So there is just going to be a single contested objective, and it is going to be Baron. Ooh, Gumayushi now has Bloodthirster available. That is going to slow down the Akali by a considerable amount. Obviously, Bloodthirster is absolutely amazing versus something like the Varus poke, and also real good versus Akali. This is going to be interesting. Dragon now 50 seconds and Baron 13 seconds. I think that the red team is planning to just do the Baron here, right? Faker in the side lane once again, has his teleport available though. And the blue team is being very, very careful here. Yeah. Ooh, this is rough. Yuumi ultimate already used. I think if we're not sure, we can just take the dragon here, let's be honest. But Faker putting on real good pressure in the side lane here, yeah, as he will just take down the inhib turret. And then he teleports into the top side here, kind of playing around with Zeus's feelings, who Zeus still has his teleport available though. So, you know, the teleport is a little bit of a questionable choice. As obviously the red team, if they want to be safe, they can just take the dragon here, which is most definitely possible. And I believe that Faker is working on a Zhonya now. Yeah, is going to get the Seeker's Arm Guard and the stopwatch, which will put him effectively at a Zhonya for the next fight. The red team has slain the dragon, and now Cloud Dragon Soul is available, which is obviously a really good one for Zeri. Alright, so Serpent's Fang available here for Varus. Obviously, that is not going to help him out tons anymore, but it is a very good item, given the fact that obviously we have a decent amount of shields here available. Still though, ooh, big damage by the Zeri. Wukong finds a really good engage, and he will take no one down, actually goes down instead. And Zeri has got to be very careful here. The ultimate will find Gumayushi. Hide on bush with super solid play. And that was just the red team fighting a little bit too out of position. Everyone going in a little bit too deep. And inside of that funnel, they will all go down to the Bel'Veth, who will take down a double kill. Actually, a triple kill, I believe. And this is a huge situation here for the blue team. Absolutely great. As obviously the enemy team just acquired a Cloud Soul, and we are still in a really good situation. Baron goes over to the blue team again. Let's see if they're able to do something with it this time. Wasn't really the most effective Baron before. Faker now has a little bit of an opening of one of the most valuable inhibitor turrets here though, so that is absolutely an amazing job. A Kali Flash being timed here. I don't know what happened, but this was still very, very good by Faker, who now obviously has the Zhonyas and a Blighting Jewel. So Faker is going to be absolutely unstoppable in this fight. He's been a huge threat to Gumayushi as well in every single one of these fights. So he's been able to do such an amazing job on the Akali here. A very controlled play by him, but still very, very smart. Thinking man's League of Legends. As, ooh, the Yone almost found a good angle there, but the red team is able to disengage from that now. There is the Yin. The Yin ultimate is being used, as obviously we have a empowered Bel'Veth. Not going to be the most impactful thing, but still something that you kind of want to avoid, as Yone will find a decent angle, and this once again is Gumayushi on low HP, but he will take down the Jhin. Will be taken down by the... Ooh, yeah, Faker's still alive, by the way. So Faker and Bel'Veth still alive. Yuumi on Zeus, but I don't think that she is going to be able to withstand the onslaught of the Bel'Veth in her true perfect form. And obviously Faker as well, who doesn't have to evolve to be in his perfect form, apparently. Alright, solid damage at least to the minions, as, yeah, we are working ourselves into a beautiful bait here. And this is going to be Karim going down to the Wukong. Faker, who smelled that last second, will find the disengage. 2 minutes until Elder Dragon will be up. Faker walking into the enemy jungle. Yeah, probably looking for the Wukong here. Got to be very careful. This Wukong does very solid amounts of damage. No red buff available. This is always something where you can catch out an AD carry. For example, the red buff available, and then walking into exactly that. Right, so Zeri Flash used aggressively once again in classical Gumayushi manner. Obviously Faker took note of that and will remember it. 350 farm obviously available here as well for Gumayushi. Very interesting. Faker still is just so ridiculously strong though. Gumayushi has now taken the Mercurial Scimitar, which will give him 40 magic resist, pretty decent. However, obviously for Faker, pretty soon there is going to be Void Step available. I would assume that he is about at 1.2k gold-ish at this current point. Let's see. See what he is. 700 gold. He's holding 700 gold right now. So he is going to be able to pretty soon pick up the Void stuff, which is pretty decent for himself. Alright, so this is the point, right? This is the do or die. Rumble in the side lane doesn't have TP, so not the most optimal situation. I think Zeus should be the one in the side lane here, if anyone. Faker positioned a little bit off. Yeah, he's looking if he can catch something, but he remembers the mistake that he made before, getting overrun by Zeus and the red team in general, because he found himself a little bit out of position there. We have a decent wave here shoving in to the enemy team, so they will have to consider that during the dragon fight, unless they manage to clear it, which apparently is not really going to be able to happen. Yeah, actually, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, this is still going to push in, but a little bit slower than I expected, actually. So unfortunately not quite perfectly timed. Yeah. Oh, yeah, beautiful Cyclone here by Wukong, and that means that now Faker is on low HP. Apparently his plan is to recall and teleport in, as he will do exactly that. A little bit of an extra trade, kind of weird, but at least he gets the Cyclone out of the Wukong. Ultimate obviously still available, so we will have to look at Gumayushi here and his positioning. Flash ultimate onto Guma, as no damage dealt to Guma, so the perfect execution will obviously not really do any damage, and that is Hide on Bush going golden, but he will be taken down by the Elder Dragon buff in a second. Elder Dragon goes over to the red team, and that spells the end to the game, I believe. Unless we decide to collectively do weird things, but I think that, yeah, I think this is a little questionable pushing the side lanes here, but I mean, Jhin is not going to be able to clear that, and as it stands, I believe this is just going to be the end. Yep, that is the end. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay awesome.